You're listening to Behind the Bulldogs, brought to you by Ferris State Athletics.
Off the left side, to the end zone! Touchdown, Bulldogs!
If I'm even having like a bad day on the course or something, I just look down at it and just feel like thankful that I'm able to be out there.
Making sure that we're like where our feet are and we're not thinking about outside distractions.
Welcome in, everybody. It's episode 4 of Behind the Bulldogs. Brandon and Tatum Outlaw, and we are so excited that you have joined us here today. We have a great episode for you. We'll get into a full recap of all of our sports happening this weekend, including 3 dubs.
Heck yeah.
By volleyball, a massive dub by football.
Oh, yeah.
One that tired me out. I'll tell you why here in just a little bit. Soccer as well, competing on senior day. It was a really tough fought match. We'll break that down as well as we had some cross-country action coming up here this weekend, and obviously a full slate as it's homecoming coming up here this weekend. Very exciting times to be a Bulldog here, as I know you have, especially Tatum, here with the stuff that you do outside of the podcast, as well as all the things. You're an intern with Ferris State University, and I know you guys have spent a lot of time, spent a ton of hours on a lot of material leading up to homecoming, because there's going to be a lot of Bulldogs in town here coming up.
Yeah, it's an exciting weekend, not just for all of the sports games we've got going on, but just for a bunch of events and activities, and get to see some alumni come back. So it'll be a fun weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend. Let's get right into it here. Obviously, we'll start with volleyball, as it's fitting with the person sitting to my left, your right. 3 wins this weekend, but as you told me before we launched here with the hot microphones, tougher than was probably expected against some really good quality opponents.
Right. You know, I say this all the time, but we do try to respect all and fear none. So we go into each game like being as prepared as possible. But we definitely were challenged the last 3 games, so it was nice. We won ugly, I don't want to say that, but we didn't play our best games, but it was cool to see us still pull out 3 wins against Michigan Tech, Northern Michigan, and Northwood. So, yeah, they were really good, but I'm glad we could win. Some 4-setters in there, so these games were all really tight and intense. Our bodies are definitely feeling it, but it was just cool to get more conference and regional wins.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you guys will be back at it Friday and Saturday. We'll get to that at the end of the show. Guys, they're playing at home. They're playing at home finally. We've made it to October 5th. We'll get to who they're playing here in just a little bit. Football. Many people saw the score. It was ugly if you're a fan in Springfield, Massachusetts of the Yellow Jackets. For Ferris State, it was as good of a Madden performance as you could replicate. 84-7, I believe, was the final score. I was live tweeting the game, and I didn't get a single break in the 3 hours. There was something happening every single possession. But that's just really what this team does. The depth, doesn't matter what string, no matter what the lineup is out there, they're making plays, whether it was on kick return, punt return, whether it was the defense getting involved with a turnover. And especially you see that with the scoreline at halftime. It was really a one-sided affair, and Coach Anissa's team came in to do some business, and they left on a business trip. Very satisfied with their performance, I would say.
Yeah, you know, the football team continues to amaze me, it's crazy that I even say that because they're always exceeding my expectations, but that was such a fun game to watch.
Absolutely. I mean, you're looking especially at the dominance this weekend. Obviously, you mentioned football as well as volleyball. Soccer really had some great games over the last couple of days, and especially with the Davenport game. Obviously, they tied. That was a game they were winning in the second half, and Davenport just found an equalizer late on a set piece. And so really tough for this team, especially. They've played so well in all these home games, but they just haven't got over the hump just yet. I know there's going to be a day and there's going to be a game where it all gets broke loose and this team's going to really tear it up. But it's just unfortunate for the confidence of this group. I know you talked to quite a few of the lady soccer players. Obviously, we had Annie and Lauren on last week. But really for them, they're playing a good brand of soccer. They're just not able to get the offensive output that they're looking for consistently. And we need like a home curse broken or something, because this team's playing too good to not have a home win the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, everyone goes support soccer. They're working their tails off.
Literally.
Lauren said it perfectly. They're starting off with some really tough games, and it's only making them better. And they're coming so close every time. So everyone go support soccer.
Yes, please do. We need more fans there. And it was great last week. The environment was great. Fans were great. And it was certainly a great experience, as it always is there at the soccer fields. We saw golf as well as on the men's and women's side, as well as tennis was competing this weekend. Shout out to tennis as well. But especially something to note as of well, a little shout out here to our former Bulldog alum, Alan Morin, for winning the Senior PGA Professional Championship. A former Bulldog getting it done on the big stage. We've said that before with golf. It's like they continue to play well, even past their eligibility. Some great stuff there. And so really congratulations to him on a really good performance. I wanted to shout him out on the show. But also Midwest Region Preview champs for the men's. I mean, this was a team, talked to Coach Stark, especially after the home invitational. They were dissatisfied. They knew they could do better in the short game, and they really have improved dramatically. Now, you ask any of the players, they're saying, yeah, we still have work to do. But bringing home a trophy, I mean, there might be still some things to work on, but you can be pretty satisfied with a job well done.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love seeing how they're literally improving every single week, but they're doubling down on what they're doing. They're doing what's working and then fixing what needs to be fixed right away. Like the very next week, they keep inclining. So it's cool to watch.
It is really cool to watch as well. 7th for the women's over there at the Beal Fall Classic. Some really good individual results as well. This team is still working out the kinks, especially being with a new 5. And as you do every year with a new scoring 5. So it's something that you get used to, no matter if it's running, no matter if it's golf, no matter what sport it may be, basketball, you name it. Different personnel makes a different game plan. And as much as talent-wise can bring into it, obviously, you'd love to put your best 5 out there every time. That's not necessarily the recipe, for playing these teams. I mean, obviously, you know that from volleyball. I know that from cross country, and you can apply it to almost any sport is. And so they're working through those things right now, really getting the consistency down. And really, I feel like when we talk to Coach Stark, especially with the golf team, I mean, that's really what the fall's for. Let's work out the kinks. Let's get our game to a point where we can build that into the winter and have a good spring campaign. So they're working through those things right now, and that's an okay thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. As easy as it is to just do what's comfortable, that's not always best. So now's the time, like you said, to work out the kinks.
Absolutely. We got a lot of great things upcoming this weekend. Be sure to stick around after our great interview. We'll get you the Ferris Sports Slate before you go. But first, we have a great interview, one that I'm super excited about. I got 2 of my former teammates in the building ready to do an interview with us. Ryan Ososki, Cooper Sorsen. Those guys are very excited to come on the show. And it's great to highlight some cross country because we don't get the camera little spotlight here now and then. So it's really fun to bring them on the show. We can't wait to bring it to you. So let's waste no more time, eh?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's swing it to the interview. Now joining us here in studio, we got a pair of cross-country athletes joining us here on the program. Ryan Ososki and Cooper Sorsen. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you on the show.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
It's going to be great to have you on. And obviously, we'll start off with just a season recap. Obviously, you guys have been competing so far. You obviously had Spartan under your belt recently for both of you guys, and Bulldog at the start of the year. Just talk about what it really is going like with the team right now and some of the results being put on the board.
Yeah, so we started off with the Bulldog invite. That was actually my 7th time running already, so I kind of had a lot under my belt going into that. I feel like the team really competed well. We had some great weather there, and it was a good get that under our belt, knowing that GLIACs would be there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the best Bulldog we've had in a while. Helped it was a little cooler. Had some great performances. I know in the interview I had with Viewworth, I might have misspoke. I think we had 5 guys under 27:30, so...
Still pretty impressive to say the least.
Yeah.
So, and Ryan, obviously you mentioned 7th time running this race. I was fortunate enough to run 6, so you got me by 1 because you're from Big Rapids. Yeah. Just talk about for you being able to not only being able to compete in your hometown as a high schooler, but now doing it at the college level. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's really special actually, especially going from like a 5K to the 8K on that course. Like the different turns, the tangents, everything, and just having the support from Big Rapids. It's really cool to have the community come around and watch you, and being able to be in a space where you have so many coaches, teammates, and community members to be able to like sit there and watch you and cheer you on. And it's really special to be representing my hometown. So,
do you see that as like an advantage in your running in any way, since you are from the area and you have so many supporters that can watch you every time you run?
Yeah, and I think it's really cool, like even racing, and you have people that you don't really know, but they see you like on the news or with other teammates. And I think it's cool that they can cheer you on. You hear your name, and you're like, wow, this is awesome that my community can support me like that. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. And for Cooper, you started a pipeline for us, all of our Caledonia folks that have made our way over. What really drew you to Ferris State in the first place, and what made you decide to be a Bulldog?
Yeah. So going back to high school senior year, my best friend Ben actually committed to go to Ferris, so to run here, and I was like, I might as well follow him too. I wasn't really 100% sure on the running thing, but I decided to go with it. I'm happy with it. And then I had another high school teammate, Josh Ohm, who ran with me in high school. He ended up going to Ferris, but didn't really want to run, and thankfully he kept running his freshman year here, but wasn't on the team, just ran on his own, and actually ended up messaging our coach Jared and got on the team. So got 3 Cal athletes on the team now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, he was basically voluntold that you need to start running at Ferris State. No, for sure. We love those guys, and which is crazy because, yeah, I mean, for you, almost deciding not to run, and now look 3 years later, and you're the number one. I mean, how does that feel like special to you?
Yeah, I mean, I never would have thought that would have happened. I just kind of stuck with it and kind of decided that I needed to take it a little more serious, and I'm glad I did. Pretty happy with how it's gone so far and hoping to continue improving.
For sure. And obviously a couple big road trips coming. You got Louisville, you got Lewis on deck, obviously before GLIACs, which we'll get to in just a little bit. But especially for the road trips, what do you guys do to a little bit of preparation, I should say? I know I have a little bit of the inside, but has it changed over the years as far as, those pre-race superstitions, things you got to do on the bus ride over?
Oh, I don't know. We always listen to some songs. I know there's that Paper Planes song that we always play, and we pound the roof of the car. But
our coaches don't like that, but we keep doing it.
We do that. For me, superstitions, I always wear the same socks. I have the same shorts and t-shirt that I wear. And even though my socks have holes in them because I race in them every time, but
that's got to be the number one superstition is the same socks over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. So maybe we need a NIL deal or something with some sock company, Fleet Feet or features or something. So Cooper, what about you?
I'm not superstitious at all. I try my best not to think about the race. I know that's weird to say, but the more I think about it, I feel like the worse I do. I try to just keep mellow and not really think about it until it comes down to it. So,
hey, that's not a bad way to think about it either. At the end of the day, Tatum, I know, has some superstitions when it comes to volleyball. So,
yeah, it's more of like a routine, I guess. Do you guys have any? I know you were talking about songs on the bus, but any other routines that you guys like? I know we like to get pretty crazy in the locker room before our games, so I don't know. That's just kind of what we do.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I always try to time out my warm-ups or whatever. I don't put on my spikes until I get to the line, or I just time everything out so it's a routine. But yeah, I'm kind of superstitious about that too.
Yeah,
I always do my drills in the same order: practice, race, everything.
Oh, okay, yeah. So a little superstition. Maybe not
it's just routine, I guess. But yeah.
A little stitious, not necessarily superstitious, but especially for you guys, nutrition is one that with a lot of athletes we talk on the show, and for running, it feels like it's near the top of the list when it comes to what are some of those go-to things as far as maybe the night before or the days leading up to the race. So you're like, man, I got to have this. I got to get fueled. I got to be ready to go.
Yeah, it's actually really great that my parents live in town still, because every night I'll go over for spaghetti or lasagna or something.
Oh, yeah.
Invite us over next time.
Yeah, for real. I'll have a team dinner or something. But so I always make them make me pasta. And then for breakfast, I always have peanut butter and jelly toast, which is a go-to. So
Nice. Cooper, how about you?
I'm not as fortunate as Ryan. I'm always stuck with whatever the Rock has, but I make do with it. If they have pasta, I'll try to eat that. Sometimes if we're at the quad, we got the pasta bar there if we race on a Friday, which is good. But pre-race, just keep it simple. Bowl of cereal every day. So
all right. Post-race, cheat meal, let's go to town, because when the 5 miles are up, it's time to eat. Yes. What's the go-to cheat?
Chick-fil-A is good. I like some milkshakes or something, ice cream. Yeah, that's definitely
Qdoba, Chipotle, that's a good go-to.
There you go. When it comes to, for you guys, obviously, talk about a little bit what you're studying academically wise, why you chose it, and how Ferris is really a good fit for you in that major.
Yeah. So I'm in business administration. I have a social media marketing minor. I'm not really sure 100% on what I want to do, but I feel like it'd be cool to work for a big company, maybe like Nike or something. That would be awesome.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
If I want to take a different route, maybe real estate. I don't know. That could be two completely different things, but
Those are two very good industries to get into.
Yes,
so Cooper he's a little bit also establishing in a pipeline, the cross-country accounting pipeline at Ferris State. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so my freshman year when I came in, I wasn't decided. I was just a general business major. I knew I wanted to specify it down to something more, but family friends recommended accounting, and then former teammate Donis Harris recommended accounting. So stuck with that and went with it, and pretty glad so far with what I got so far.
I know you guys probably get asked this a million times by everyone, but how do you balance the studies and being an athlete?
It's definitely hard. You got to learn time management for sure.
Yeah.
It's nice like on Wednesdays when we don't have practice. That's when I try to get all my homework done for the weekend, especially if I know if we're going away for the weekend. Also like long bus trips, you have a lot of time to get some homework done. So yeah, but just trying to find that time management part is very important.
I'm very much a procrastinator.
Yes, he's honest. Let's go. Yes, of course.
It says
My
do
number
Sunday.
one tip, procrastinate.
Do Sunday, I'm doing it Sunday. And so last week I spent almost the whole day after the long run doing homework, but we got it all done. So that's all that matters.
As long as it's done.
Yeah.
As long as it's done. Favorite place that you have ever ran competitively in a race, or even just, going out for a recovery run somewhere, maybe on vacation?
Up in Petoskey, I went on a family trip up there and I had a long run there, and that was actually a really good place to run, like good route and everything. And that was like one of my longest runs in high school. So
there you go.
That.
Yeah, actually this spring break, me, Noah, and Andrew Shafley went out to Montana and Colorado. And
Wow.
probably my favorite place was Montana. We were kind of a flat area, but there was like mountains surrounding us. So that was pretty cool to look at the whole run.
That is sweet. You didn't run into any buffalo or anything while you're out there, right?
Not out on the run, no.
Okay.
We saw animals. Nothing too crazy though.
Okay.
Spooky.
Spooky a little.
Spooky.
Halloween season. What? Oh, it is October. So for you guys especially, we'll get back here. GLIACs, obviously you guys are focused on Louisville, then Lewis, and then GLIACs. But I mean, being able to have a home meet as a championship, unfortunately, I was not able to experience that. You guys will, which I'm super excited about. Just talk about what that means to you guys, being able to compete long and hard as a Bulldog. And now you're going to be able to compete against the best of the best in our conference on that course for the first time that the school's had in 7 years.
Yeah, I think it's very cool that we get to have that opportunity, especially now that I've ran there so many times. I feel like I have a great understanding under my belt of what the course holds. And I think we're going to try to get out there for some workouts. So I think we'll have even more experience to get out there. But just being able to have our community come around is going to be awesome, because we don't really have that many chances around the season for people to come and watch us. So I think that'll be cool. And yeah, I think that is especially with the colder weather and the first Bulldog meet, I think we know what we can expect in October, at the end of October. So I think it'll be awesome to have that chance again.
Yeah, I think based on how our season opener was, our first race, that was pretty good results. I mean, even if we can run those times and obviously better, I think we'd be pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be exciting. And I think the number one thing people are looking forward to is seeing not only the home race, because obviously we have Bulldog, but now it's on a big stage, right? It's the GLIAC Championships. We're going to see our rivals from Allendale there. We're going to see Saginaw there. The UP teams are going to have to take the long trek down here, which no condolences when it comes to the travel on that bus, but which you guys just came back from that trip. So Tatum already is telling us that it's not worth it. But and when it comes to the travel aspect too, I mean, I think one of the things that I truly appreciated about being a part of this team and being able to be a part of the program was being able to compete against some of the best and the best in the cool places. You're going to Louisville, Kentucky. You're going to Lewis, obviously, when we get to track and field, going to places like Bucknell, prestigious places and running. I mean, what's your favorite as far as the meet that you have really kind of as a key memory, and what made that meet so special for you guys?
I really love Louisville. I just think it's a great area, first of all. But I think the terrain, there's so many different, there's grass, there's dirt, there's rocks, there's everything there. Last year I actually lost a shoe, which was crazy, but
I think that's a tradition now with Dan.
Have to do it again. But
Shout out Dan Hardesty. Lost a shoe 2 years in a row at that course, and now Ryan continues the tradition onward.
Yeah, so that's just definitely that was a crazy memory that I have there, but I just love it down there, and it's a cool course, and there's a lot of teams there, and I think it's going to be a good one this year as well.
Yeah, the bluegrass, I think, makes you faster. I think that's what it is. How about you, Coop?
Yeah, I'd have to go with Lewis. I mean, last year we had a really good race there as a team, and then it was cool. We got to go downtown Chicago afterwards, watch the marathon, which was a really cool experience. See the world record in person.
Yeah, that was crazy. Almost got arrested, but that's the story for another day. Anyway, so for sure. Tatum, you have any questions to add?
Running's so foreign to me in some ways, but I kind of talked to them about this earlier, but just favorite running weather is fall, like the ideal time for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that. Fall?
Yeah, 50s and just a little bit of overcast. That's awesome. No wind. That's,
Yeah.
perfect.
Can't ask for better than that.
Yeah.
Rain or no rain?
No rain.
No rain.
No rain.
No
Okay.
rain.
That's a debatable question when it
Yeah,
comes to
really?
running community is I
Oh.
think running in the rain starts to become like, ooh, this might be actually like the hot take of the day is running in rain.
You get
Yeah.
mud and slippery.
Oh,
No
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I've heard some people really like it though. So.
Yeah. It's like soothing or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not really on the full rain train because laundry afterwards
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
I'll pass on that.
Yeah, it's just not ideal,
But
but
sopping wet jersey.
literally, yeah, it's just crazy. But thank you guys so much for joining us. One last question we like to ask everybody we bring on the show. What's your favorite thing about being a Ferris State Bulldog?
Everything. My
That's a
teammates,
great
answer. I don't know. I love my team. I love my coaches. I love the whole community, and I just love being here. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to say that people, we get to spend time with each other every day at the Rock, and that leads to some shenanigans afterwards, which is fun. But yeah, some good friends I've made, and yeah.
We love some good team shenanigans. Who
Yes.
doesn't?
For
So,
sure.
Ryan Cooper, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time, and we appreciate all the great things you're doing for the program. And good luck at Louisville this weekend, and then Lewis afterwards.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Sweet. Big thanks to Cooper and Ryan for joining us here on the program. So glad to bring them on. Really great guests as always. Be sure to stay tuned. We got some great guests for you next week, as we always do. I mean, we're setting a pretty good standard here, Tatum, with our
I
guest
think
selection
so.
so far.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun. Each guest that comes on, or the multiple guests we've had on, have been so fun, and these two were especially a lot of fun. I forgot the cameras were even rolling. So
I know. That's when you know it's a great interview.
Yeah.
It's when you forget the cameras are rolling. I got to pan over here just to make sure our levels are good because I don't even remember that I started them in the first place. But it was a great interview. Shout out to those guys, and we can't wait to bring on more and more as we go on into the fall. And especially here this upcoming weekend, we got so much to get for you here this homecoming weekend. I mean, if you're in town, you're not going to have any night where you're going to say, you know what, I got nothing to do, because there's going to be things literally every single, it starts literally as we're recording this on Wednesday night. There's stuff Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I think there's even something on Monday. I can't remember. So there's so much to do. But if you're a sports fan, you're in town, here are the matchups and the games to check out. Women's soccer will not be here, unfortunately. They will celebrate homecoming on the road. Unfortunate for Coach Henson's group, but hopefully they can get the mojo back against Northern Michigan, and Michigan Tech, some good teams. They play Northern Michigan on Friday at 3 p.m. Up there in Marquette, and then they'll play on Sunday against the Huskies of Michigan Tech at Houghton starting at noon. And women's volleyball, you guys will be home. Finally, exactly. Literally can't be more happy you guys are at home. 6 p.m. on Friday night. Be there, be square. And right after then, you can go right across the hall for an epic showdown. We got everything college hockey. Game day is here. You're going to get free merch. You're going to get free swag. Free game of hockey. You can't say that too often, so you're going to want to be there against Miami of Ohio. It's the season opener at 8:07 p.m. Very late, and that is because we have so much stuff. We want you to be able to get in all of it, so be sure to be there. They'll also play on Saturday night, same time, 8:07 against the Red Hawks. We'll have volleyball as well against Purdue Northwest at 6 o'clock. Football, we're going to be playing the Lakers, not Lake State, not Grand Valley State, our new third Laker, Roosevelt, new GLIAC joined. That game is going to be at 2 p.m. That's right, 2 p.m. We had to change the times once again so everybody can get to all of these games. And then, as we mentioned here in the interview, cross country will be at the Live in Lou Classic in Louisville, Kentucky, one of my favorite races personally. And we also have the Gilda's Club Laker Fall Invite for our women's golf team as well. So they'll be there Saturday and Sunday. It's an all-day event. And then some of them will also be back for the Bulldog Classic on Monday as per the schedule on the 7th. And fortunately for Tatum, another 3-game week. You guys got to play Davenport, a tough team, on a Tuesday. I know you guys want a break desperately, but it looks like you're going to have to wait a week until you get that break.
Yeah, it's a jam-packed weekend, jam-packed schedule for all the sports teams. So if you're around, show some Bulldog pride. Go support the teams. It's a fun homecoming weekend. And yeah, we're on a roll right now, so I can't complain too much about the 3-game weeks.
At least you're not going to Kenosha
Yeah.
instead of Caledonia. I mean, it's a little bit closer of a drive.
Just
So
a little bit.
hopefully you guys get 3 wins and we get to talk about it next week. And hopefully we have a lot of wins to talk about here after homecoming weekend. It's going to be great. But big thanks to you guys for tuning in. Be sure, can't stress this enough, Be sure to subscribe and follow so you don't miss out on any episode drop every Thursday. We're so glad to bring you the show format, especially with the video cameras. Thank you guys for the love. It's been great to have that addition here on the show. Because we want to see the beautiful faces of our athletes all over the place. And I think it's great. And we're glad to bring that to you. So, Tatum, I say we adjourn and we regroup here in about 7 days. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right, sweet. Big thanks to Dazos Digital. Be sure to subscribe. And until next time, take care, everybody.
See ya.